Kevin Harvick third tonight at Hickory, but before I ask you about Kevin the driver, what were the emotions for Kevin the dad watching Keelan drive away on that last restart?
Well, the first thing I didn't want to do was cause a caution back there racing hard, for third or fourth or whatever it was, but I had fun. Being able to be on the same racetrack obviously is something that I didn't really ever think would happen. But it's for me it's fun because of the fact of the conversations that we can have about the cars, the things that we're doing, the places that we're going, putting on fun shows for the fans while he's learning racing, and I'm out there just having a good time. So as a dad, that's pretty cool. After racing your whole life to put food on the table, now you're just out there watching him grow and having a good time.
The 2025 racing season has delivered some incredible moments, but nothing has shocked the motorsports world quite like this. Kevin Harvick, 2014 NASCAR Cup Series champion and one of the most respected veterans in the sport, has just been beaten not once but twice by his own 12-year-old son, Keelan Harvick. What started as a feel-good family race at a local short track has exploded into a national headline and one of the most compelling stories NASCAR has seen in years. It all began at Kern Raceway in Bakersfield, California, a track owned by Kevin Harvick himself. The announcement came in February that Kevin and his son would compete head-to-head in the Pro Late Model division. Fans expected a fun father-son battle, maybe a few competitive laps, and a touching moment at the end. But what unfolded under the lights on May 31st was far more intense than anyone imagined. Kern Raceway was packed. Nearly every seat filled as fans came out to watch a Harvick showdown that few believed would be anything more than symbolic. Kevin, with decades of experience and a Cup Series title to his name, was expected to dominate. Keelan, meanwhile, was just getting started in full-bodied stock cars after cutting his teeth in go-karts and Legends cars. But from the moment the green flag dropped, it was clear this wouldn't be a walkover. The race was split into two 75-lap segments. Kevin came out strong in the first half, showing that experience still counted. He led most of the opening laps, putting on a clinic in short track control and tire management. But the second half told a very different story. Keelan found another gear, upping his aggression and holding his line with confidence well beyond his years. The defining moment came with just 6 laps to go in the second segment. Kevin Harvick, Buddy Shepard, and Jacob Gomes were in a tight battle for the lead. As they entered Turn 1, Gomes made contact with Kevin, triggering a multi-car pileup that eliminated the elder Harvick from contention. Amid the chaos, Keelan slipped through untouched and inherited the lead. He held off the field on a crucial restart and powered his way to his first ever Pro Late Model victory. The crowd erupted. Cameras caught the 12-year-old leaping out of his car, shouting, "Let's go!" with the kind of unfiltered joy that only comes from accomplishing the impossible. Kevin, for his part, was the first to offer congratulations. "I pushed Keelan earlier in the race. That wasn't intentional," he admitted in a post-race interview. "It was Dad overdriving the car a little, and unfortunately, he was on the outside, but he earned it." That win alone would have been enough to mark Keelan as a name to watch. But any whispers that the victory was a fluke were silenced just weeks later at Evergreen Speedway in Monroe, Washington. This time, there was no wreck to shuffle the field, no fortunate caution, just raw speed, composure, and flat-out domination by the youngest Harvick. Racing in front of a sold-out crowd of 7,000 people, Keelan didn't just beat Kevin again. He outclassed him from the drop of the green flag. The elder Harvick stayed in the race the entire time, running solid laps, but he never touched the lead. Meanwhile, Keelan ran with the top pack all day, navigating traffic and pressure like a seasoned pro. Hayden Plybon eventually won the race, but the real story was what happened behind him. Keelan Harvick finishing ahead of his father again, clean, fast, and confident. Kevin reflected on the race during his Happy Hour podcast. "This time, he just flat out beat me," he said. "First time he finished ahead, this time he beat me start to finish. I got to race behind him most of the day and just watched. And I thought, he's confident. He knows where his car is. He knows how wide it is. He's comfortable sliding it around." And I realized, yeah, he's ahead of where I thought he'd be. What's made Keelan's rapid rise even more incredible is who else he's beaten along the way. Just days after Evergreen, Keelan took part in the Cookout Summer Shootout at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Competing in the Legend Car division, a proving ground for young talent, he started on the pole and led 22 of 25 laps. A late race caution bunched the field and London McKenzie slipped past on the final restart. denying Keelan the win. But finishing second wasn't the story. The real headline was who Keelan beat: Scott McLaughlin, a full-time IndyCar Series driver, and Shane Van Gisbergen, a New Zealand racing legend and current full-time NASCAR Cup driver. Both men with years of experience and championships between them finished behind a 12-year-old. It wasn't just a case of track position or lucky breaks. Keelan showed poise under pressure, managing restarts and protecting his line with the skill of someone far beyond his age. When asked by NASCAR on Fox how it felt to beat his dad, Keelan simply smiled and said, "My spotter was guiding me through it, and I just kind of smiled and waved."
My spotter was guiding me through it, and I kind of just smiled and just waved bye.
That calm, collected demeanor has become a trademark in just a few short months. What's fueling this sudden surge? For starters, Keelan isn't new to racing. He's been competing in go-karts since age 5 and has gradually worked his way up through Bandoleros legend cars and now full-bodied late models. His limited late model debut at Florence Motor Speedway in February 2025 ended in victory. He followed that with a pole and podium in his pro late model debut at Cordele Motor Speedway in April and another top 3 finish at North Wilkesboro in May. These weren't lucky results. They were consistent, measured performances, and the seat time matters. Kevin has been vocal about how today's young drivers get more racing experience in a year than older drivers did in their entire teens. Because they race so much, Kevin said, they're exposed to so many more things than we were, and they learn faster. That evolution in driver development is evident in Keelan. His ability to slide the car in and out of corners, his spatial awareness, his ability to survive restarts and pressure. It all points to a young driver who is learning not just from practice, but from real-world high-stakes competition. But perhaps the most powerful part of this story is Keelan Harvick himself, a 49-year-old NASCAR legend who has nothing left to prove. Now finding himself outpaced by the very kid he mentored. Instead of frustration, Kevin has met these moments with pride and honesty. "Hey, I'm all about it," he said on his podcast. "I've never hid from the fact that when you're not in the car every week, you lose a step or two. The kids are good now. I'm just an old man out there." For Kevin, the role has shifted from mentor to competitor to full-time dad on pit road, and he seems to be enjoying every second of it. Watching Keelan handle side-by-side battles, late race restarts, and national media attention without flinching has only reaffirmed what many in the NASCAR community are starting to believe. This kid might be the real deal. NASCAR has long been defined by family legacies: the Pettys, the Earnhardts, the Allisons, the Jarretts, racing bloodlines that stretch across generations. Kevin and Keelan Harvick now look poised to write the next chapter in that storied tradition. And if the first half of 2025 is any indication, it's going to be a chapter worth watching. Because this isn't just a cute story about a kid racing his dad. This is the emergence of a legitimate racing talent. Someone who's already beaten a former Cup champion head-to-head, outpaced full-time professionals, and handled the spotlight like a seasoned veteran. All before his 13th birthday. And the scary part, he's only getting started.